What's up, everyone? My name is Payan, and I am with Interns for Good, and today I would like to tell you about equal grouping. This is a math concept that will continue to come up as you continue to face those math challenges in higher grades, so I really feel that we need to learn it now. And we're going to do it the fun way, which is, of course, with Legos. So today we're going to learn how to solve word problems with and without remainders with up to 3-digit dividends and 2-digit divisors. We will also understand what to do with remainders whenever these do happen, these being remainders. So we might share them, we might ignore them, we might round them up. And this presentation is for 4th graders because that's what's part of the Common Core curriculum for 4th grade. But definitely if you are a 3rd grader or a 5th grader or really of any age group, this is still an important concept to know. So I invite you to stay in and just continue to watch the video. So let's talk Legos. If I have 50 Legos and I divide them into equal groups of 10 Legos, how many groups of Legos will I have? Well, 50 is really just 10 added 5 times, right? So 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, meaning that I will have 5 equal groups of 10. As you can see here. But let's try to make this a little bit more complicated. What if I add 20 more Legos to those 50 Legos and then divide those into equal groups of 10? How many equal groups would I have then? Well, I would have the 5 from 10 added 5 times to get 50, and then 10, how many times is 20? Well, 10 plus 10 is 20, so that's 10 2 times, which would mean equal groups of 7. Which is 7. So let's try to put this into a word problem. What if I needed to build a house that required 137 Legos, but the construction site only has stacks of 10 Legos each? How many stacks will I need? Well, keep in mind that whenever I'm building a house, I really need, if I have some sort of specific condition that I have to fulfill. So 137 Legos. I need 137 Legos if they say I need 137 Legos. Or else I might leave out a random door, maybe a floor part won't be there, or something like that. And of course, that's just weird. I can't have that inside of a house. So instead, how many stacks of 137 Legos will I need to get at least 137 Legos? Not stacks of 137 Legos, but just get at least 137 Legos. I would encourage you to pause the video and see if you can figure it out, and we'll come back in just a second. Okay, so hopefully you have paused the video, and let's try to solve this. So 137 Legos divided into equal groups of 10 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Because 10 added 13 times is 130. Now wait a second. 130 Legos is less than 137 Legos that I need to build a house. Meaning right now I would be missing a floor part or maybe a window or a door, which is not going to make the buyer of my house very happy. So what exactly do I have to do? The answer is round it up, because we can only get Legos in stacks of 10. So we're going to have to round up 13 stacks to 14 stacks because there's a remainder of 7 and I only have stacks of 10. In other words, I would rather have 3 blocks that I might not be able to use to build this house than make my buyer unhappy because they don't have a part of their floor or something. So that's why we have to round it up, because we need at least this number of Legos to build this house, and we can get more. So we have a total of 14 stacks of 10 to build this house. What if I had those same 137 Legos, but this time I can break up the stacks. And now I need to divide the blocks evenly among 10 rooms to create a shelf of any length for each room. Well, since every single block has to be used, 137 divided by 10 gives me 13 equal groups of 10. But what about the remaining 7 blocks? Well, here's kind of what we're dealing with. We have 13 equal groups of 10 because 137 divided by 10 is 13, or 10 added 13 times is 130, but we still have this remaining 7 blocks left over. So what we can do with those 7 blocks in order to make sure that we have 137 at least to be, or sorry, not at least, since we cannot get more blocks, we have to be able to just share it. We can't round up the 13 stacks because we don't have any more blocks, but we also can't ignore those extra blocks because the problem told us that we have to use all of them. So all of these 7 blocks are just going to have to be further divided. So each of these shelves is actually going to be 13 and then some Legos or blocks. So here's the problem with 7/10, that is correct, but you might not necessarily have to know about the fraction yet. You might be in a lower grade where you don't really have to know what the fraction is, or you should know what it means, but you might not have to know exactly what it is. And that's okay. If your teacher doesn't say that you have to know the fraction yet, then you can just ignore the 7/10 and just know that it's just not exactly one full block and that there is a remainder and that we can share it and further divide these blocks and just attach those extra parts or that extra part to the shelf for each room. So let's try one with windows. What if we have 156 windows and we have to install these windows in a 10-room house? What is the greatest number of windows that each room can have for each room to have the same number? So 156 is 10 added 15 times, meaning that we have 15 equal groups of 10. Now, the key word here is equal. What do we do with the remaining 6 windows? Well, here's kind of what we have to realize here. It said that every single room has to have the same number of windows, meaning that those remaining 6 windows are just going to have to be ignored because we cannot get more windows. And if we try to install these windows, then some of the rooms will have more windows than others. And we were just told that we have to have an equal number of windows per room. So that means we just have to ignore it for a total of 15 windows per room. Thank you for watching. Here are some learning resources that you can use to be able to enhance your knowledge of equal grouping. More of these are pertinent. More of these are really dealing with next video, but definitely you can review these if you want to sort of get prepared for that when we'll be doing a little bit harder word problems with more characters from the Lego movie other than just Emmett. And thank you for watching. My name is Pan, and if you would like to receive tutoring from me in the future, I really like tutoring, and I would definitely be open to helping you with anything that you need help with, all things equal grouping or any other math concept. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you understand equal grouping a little bit more than you did before. And make sure to tune in next time when we will be doing harder word problems.